Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an episode of Blindside Podcast on the Nerdport Network. I'm going to have fucking trouble saying that. I am your host, Ronnie. With me, my co-host,
Sean.
Oh, boy. Wow. Yeah, if I'm going to keep this... thank God this is the first podcast. At least I get a fucking excuse to fuck up once in a while, right?
Well, you're already drinking, so... You know.
And I'm not drinking twisted tea, so...
Hey, I'm drinking beer.
Yeah, well, I'm drinking rum. So, what are we doing on here today? I guess...
Well, why don't you tell the people what it's about?
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Alright, Blindside Podcast is a podcast about wrestling, video games, and we sprinkle some pop culture in here.
So literally, we blindside you.
Yeah, we blindside you with fucking 3 different topics that we're pretty good at talking about. Also on this, just the rundown, because we might as well talk about the network that we're doing. It's on Facebook. It is the Nerdport Network, which kind of makes it a tongue twister, but whatever.
They call it Nerdport.
With that being said, there is another podcast on here called One Fall Podcast, which is pretty much whatever the fuck we feel like talking about, we talk about. So if you don't like it, you don't have to listen. So it's whatever. Rangers beware. Or trollers beware. Because I don't give a shit. I'll say whatever the fuck I want.
I bet my job.
Yeah. With that being said, also too, we have a Let's Play channel on here called Drink Joke and Let's Play. We're keeping that. There is a page of that on Facebook. With that being said, we will have the first episodes of everything up starting Monday.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But right now, this is pretty much a test run. This is going to be the first episode. You guys can get equipped to us. With that being said, though, we are going to start with our wrestling segment. Pretty much PWS, CZW, anything really indies we'll talk about. Also, too, leave questions on the Facebook page for us. When that comes in, leave questions on YouTube. On Twitter. We'll give all that stuff out at the end of the show. So, you guys can have to listen before you can figure all that out. But right now, I mean, what? We got PWS coming up next week, Pro Wrestling Syndicate, with Pat Buck, Kevin Matthews on the Shining Wizards Network, with 2.5 wrestlers. That also a great podcast. But yeah, they got a big show coming up next week.
Next Saturday.
In what is it? Belleville?
Belleville, something like that.
Yeah, Belleville High School. As of right now, tickets are on sale. Second row, general admission, both on sale. Big ass gym. It's supposed to be really good. I mean, the card right now looks insane.
Well, you know me, I'm kind of disappointed, and you know why.
We're not talking about that. We'll save that for the One Fall Podcast.
Well, I mean, want to run down the card then?
Yeah, we'll run down the card. We'll get into that. We'll get into this early. We got Bonesaw versus yours truly, Alex Reynolds, best friend Alex, to Clark.
In a ladder match.
Unfortunate for Alex.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't see
Alex winning.
Yeah, sadly, I mean.
So part of me, and this is gonna sound insane, part of me wants him to win. Part of me.
And then Mario cash in.
A small, I mean, then he would have really been. He got screwed twice.
Yeah,
that way.
That would be the fun part, though. They would never give Clark the satisfactory of having his best friend win a title. I think that would be the funniest thing ever. It would be one of the biggest swerves that you can see. Kevin Matthews versus Arkham in a steel cage would be next.
Which is, I believe, their first steel cage match?
First steel cage match, yes. There was a little twist on this. You guys missed.
Well, you told me.
Yeah, I told you, but what you missed is that from last week when Destruction beat Kevin grabbed the mic and said if he can't beat Arkham, he might end up retiring. Which puts a whole new twist on the steel cage match, which I don't think KM's losing it. I think he hasn't won a match in September. He's due, and and I have a feeling he's gonna destroy Arkham.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be bloody. Thank God it's in the gym. Next on the card, you have the Suicidal Six-Way. The champ, the Drunken Swashbuckler, Starman versus Bobby Wayward versus Craig Steele versus Matt McIntosh versus Shinron the Dragon. First off, if you haven't seen Shinron, this guy can do a 450 from the bottom rope.
Pretty much.
And we saw him do it.
Yep.
Well, from last week, Craig Steele won the six-way.
Who did he pin? Since I didn't
wasn't Swashbuckler. I think one of the guys will fucking correct me. I think it was CPA. I don't get me wrong, or it might have been the kid that looks like, I don't know his name, but the kid that looks like Christian Cage.
Gotcha.
He's paler than Sheamus, but he wears the same gimmick as Christian Cage. I don't get it. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know your name, but you know who you are. But I doubt you'll be listening to this. But what happened with the Untouchables from the last show, about a month ago? See Wayward winning this one.
Think so?
See good old Bobby go Wayward.
Wow, you're trying to really work that on.
Oh, I've been doing it. I did it at the last one. He couldn't understand that I was trying to chant his name. And insult him
I
at the
meant
same
right
time.
now you were trying to work
Oh,
that
whatever.
into a joke.
Whatever. It's a stretch. Fuck you.
Yeah, it is a stretch.
I see Wayward winning. It doesn't really matter if Swashbuckler gets pinned or not.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason I say that is because of what's happening on the next match. 3-way for the tag titles. The Lone Rangers, which is John Silver and Pat Buck, the trainer and owner of PWS.
Yeah.
I know, say what you want. He's an owner and he owns a belt. Whoa. Versus the Suburban Outfitters, who actually won a match and got a title shot for it. Go figure.
And the team that I want to win.
And now the Untouchables, Anthony Bowens and AC Gamble.
Yep, Mr. Bones and Mr. Gamble. Oh, well, I already said I want the Suburban Outfitters to win.
Yeah,
Do I think they're going to win? I hope.
I have a feeling you're going to see Bowens and Gamble.
But, I mean, you have more knowledge than I do right now, so I'm still
Well, I'm saying, you saw the Rumble. You saw, if people don't know that during the Rumble, the Untouchables,
Bowens,
Gamble, and
Wayward
eliminated Payne out. Mr. Payne.
And we have yet to have an explanation for that, so.
But I have a feeling things might come to a head for this show, with them all winning the titles. But with that being said, too, I'm skipping ahead. You got Trent Beretta versus Chris Payne.
Versus Mr. Payne. Yep.
So, I see Trent winning that one. Sadly, I'm a huge Chris Payne fan.
I think via interference from the rest of the Untouchables, maybe just them getting up on the apron and distracting.
I don't know. For some reason, our point of view is that they're going to turn on him. Until we see otherwise, that's what we're thinking.
Yeah. Now let's strike it back a little bit.
Yeah. Old school versus new school. Mr. USA, Mr. 2x4 Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Dave Destruction. So apparently Dave is supposed to be heel.
Again, you've told me this earlier in the day, and I told you what it reminded me of. It reminded me trying to turn Kevin Steen heel. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I can see him doing it, but right now there are too many people that are fans of Dave to fully believe that he's a heel. You got the Kevin Steen thing going, Dave. No one's going to buy it. Sorry to say that.
But he's going to get booed either way because it's Hacksaw.
Well, maybe.
There's going to be more people chanting USA than
yeah. They're well. The funny thing is, he's from Dave is from the US too, so it doesn't really make sense.
Well, it's Hacksaw's thing or the ho.
Yeah.
But then again, that's kind of like a thing now because it's like the woo chant. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Next you have Mario Boccara. I believe I'm saying that. Or Boccara.
Who cares?
Oh, he'll yell at me later.
Well, he's still a good athlete.
Shut your face. Versus replacing Davey Richards.
Which
TNA's a bunch of dickheads.
I'm very disappointed. I've already seen Davey, but hey, I'm a Davey Richards fan, so I would have loved to see him again.
Versus Amazing Red.
Which this replacement is fantastic because I have yet to see Amazing Red live.
Yeah, same.
Actually, no, that's wrong. I did see him once. I saw him back in the beginning of 2012 at Ring of Honor.
Oh, okay.
He had a match with, I forget, he tagged with somebody.
Oh, well,
I think it was him and Jay Lethal, maybe.
Okay.
I forget the match, but I've seen him once. And that's the only time I've really seen him, so. And I mean, I've seen him a few matches at TNA.
As much as it's going to be great to see him, Mario's winning this match.
No, Mario's...
He's going to stay undefeated.
He's got the #1 contendership via that necklace, Money in the Bank type thing. So
I like that. I like that idea, that concept.
He's not losing.
No.
He's got to go into that title shot winning. Or on a severe losing streak.
Devin Moore, next on the match list card would be Notorious Devin Moore versus the Beast, Dan Moff.
You know who I want to win.
Yeah, I know you're a Devin Moore fan, but think logically.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Dan Moff's going to win.
Probably.
No offense, Danny. Not a fan. Maybe if you were babyface, but I just don't dig the heel thing.
I don't know. They put more over Tremont and CZW. Who knows?
I mean, Tremont, you can make it.
It's gonna be a good match either way. So I'm not even caring who's gonna win because I'm fans of both of them. Honestly, there's a lot of these that I'm just picking. I'm making bold predictions, but I'm fans of all of them. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of PWS to begin with, and we're not even done with the card yet. Too.
Well, what else is there?
As of right now, the last match on this card is Craven Varro and Team 24/7 versus returning home, the Heavenly Bodies, formerly known as Enhancement Talent. I know they hate the fact that we get on them for the jobber chant, but whatever.
Hey boys, if you stop reacting to it, maybe we'll stop chanting that.
No, I like having fun, but they're home.
They're home.
GMC
is home.
No, so are they.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I found out that's their hometown. With Fala.
With Fala. Ah.
With Ba. So, overall, I see the Heavenly Bodies going over.
Yeah, as much as sorry, Craven, I like you.
I don't think he's not going to be part of that pinfall.
No, he's not going to be part of that pinfall, but, I think it's the hometown hero type of thing. And Pat's not a dick like Vince where you're going to lose in your hometown.
Let's not rip on Pat.
No, I said he's not a dick.
That's true.
I said he's not a dick like Vince, where Vince really doesn't let people win in their hometown all the time. He does sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as of right now, we have CZW, but...
Really, we don't have a lineup for Best of the Best yet. The only thing that we think we know is the ladder match.
Well,
which we said it's going to be good. But we could read off the Best of the Best tournament players.
We'll come back to that. But actually, I want to talk about CZW for a second. Because I've had an issue. I know it's the first episode. We're gonna start off with some fucked up shit. I've had some issues with CZW in the past. Not just with wrestlers, but I've had issues with how their fan base is.
Some of the fans there are nice. Some of them...
Don't get me wrong. CZW is changing their act, which I love.
I think it's because they moved out of the Philly area.
Yeah.
Because I think the Philly area they were in was...
The fact that... I don't know. I got offended when I heard during the Drake Younger 15th anniversary, Drake Younger versus Danny Havoc. I heard a kid behind me say, "Good, we get to see some blood."
Well, I don't think a lot of people. I don't think a lot of the CCW fan, Drake Younger fans are going to know
that he retired.
He retired from deathmatch. But CCW fans aren't, and he's even said in an interview with. And
also, he's going to the show.
He's going to the E, supposedly. Spoiler alert.
Wearing pinstripes.
Possibly. No one's really sure.
I think that would be hilarious, though.
I would. Hey, that would probably be one of the most over refs. Full Sail.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my God. Imagine the Drake chants in, Philly or while he's reffing.
Well, think about that. The Full Sail crowd's going to have a field day with that. I mean, they already had a field day with Solomon Crowe.
If they have Solomon Crowe, Sami Callihan, and Drake Younger.
A lot of fans don't know that he retired from deathmatch, so it's he's even stated that some of the fans just if he hits his head, they don't fucking care. And that's not an insult to the fans, it's just...
But here's the thing, though.
Some of them just don't care.
There's that guideline between... And this is where we're getting to. what's hardcore,
and what's
what's ultra violent,
and then what's too far. I'd say what's way too far.
Well, an exploding ring, panes of glass, Legos.
Legos are just funny. Gummy bears.
A weed whacker.
A weed whacker's taking it way too far.
Light tubes.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't mind the light tube thing.
Here's the one thing I don't get, and CZW's starting to do this, but it's psychology. What the fuck are they thinking? Having blood back in the day when they used to do it, it was blood every match. No reason for it.
No, there really wasn't. It was, and unfortunately, it made the fans bloodthirsty.
But it was
and that's like there was like a guy. I remember reading a comment. He's like, "Oh, they called the PWG match between Sammy and Drake an ultraviolet match, and it sucked." I'm like, "That's because it wasn't really one. There doesn't need to be a whole ton of blood."
No, just you see ultraviolet. No, if there's a story behind it, and you see blood with it, that's fine. If someone gets open the hard way, we've seen that more times than none now, that people get open up the hard way. I get offended by it. It's like, I'm a hardcore fan. I love hardcore matches. I love watching Mick Foley Edge, WrestleMania 22, where Edge spears Foley through a flaming table. That's hardcore. Mick Foley wrapping himself in barbed wire. You don't see no light tubes or weed whackers or stuff like that.
Vince wouldn't do that.
But you get what Mick's done. Mick's jumped off his goddamn roof.
Mick's done death matches in Japan. So we know he's done that.
But I'm saying as though you see, it's a story. If there's a reason for it, they're gonna do it. Like someone like Sabu.
Like, that's the whole point for Tournament of Death. That's the way it's supposed to be.
No issue there. Which I have no issue with it.
No, because it's supposed to be that way.
Exactly.
Same with Cage of Death. Cage of Death is typically where the feud ends. And it's Tangled Web is that kind of midway where they're starting to slowly build to the point of Cage of Death where the feud explodes.
But yeah, I mean, like, that's where I have my issue. What is hardcore and what is ultraviolent? If you're going to just call it ultraviolent and do hardcore matches, fine. Do that. But shit like I want to see them bring this back, but they haven't done it lately, a barbed wire table. That was something disgusting back in ECW that Team 3D used to do, and 3D someone threw a barbed wire table. Give me a break. Like,
honestly, I'd like to see them do a no rope barbed wire match. I don't think we've seen that. Did we see that at all lately?
No. The last one that I remember was Sabu versus God. It was the guy that was TNA had it. Shockingly, TNA was doing this. One of the worst companies apparently was doing this match.
Back in their day, they weren't terrible.
It was Sabu versus Jude. No, this was Vince Russo.
No, this was Vince Russo.
This was it was Sabu versus Judas Messias.
Gotcha.
No, not Sabu. Sorry, it was Abyss and Judas Messias. It was a barbed wire Full Metal Mayhem match. Barbed wire rope Full Metal Mayhem. Oh, fuck.
I really don't. I know you have an issue. I don't. I like the ultraviolent thing.
I have more. I guess I want to say is I have more issue with the fans. I have no issue like when it crosses that line.
People chanting "We want blood." That's to me is no offense if you do that. That's something stupid. I like. Hey, if there's blood in the match, cool, yay! Someone got busted open. If there's not, yay! That was a good match.
You're okay with that, but yet you even got queasy from fucking Alexander James and Masada.
When Masada busted open Alexander, that definitely made me sick. And I like Masada, and because I think it was a fucking blade, not like little cut blade. It was
DJ. Versus
Ric Flair.
No. Oh my God. No. Okay. People, if you get a chance, go to our video and order this CZW DVD. If you can find it online, even better.
What was it?
It was DJ. It was DJ versus
Jay
Chris.
What was that event?
There's your barbed wire rope match. It was the Deja Vu.
Yeah, it was in Ohio.
Pay-per-view, the Ohio one. It was DJ takes out a blade on the hard camera, and you see 3 cuts of his forehead, and he throws it into the crowd. Clear as fucking day. I was watching this, and I even called this out, and I was pissing myself laughing so hard. I told people this, and they said, I gotta go see this now, because it's just, it's a botchamania moment.
How didn't make it on botchamania? I don't know yet.
The match, no, actually, that's right, the match is on YouTube. They played the entire match on YouTube. So go check that out and see DJ at his fullest.
I mean, back to the Masada thing, though, that was disgusting. He for those that didn't see it, he pulled out like a fucking
machete.
Literally like a ninja weapon, and fucking cut Alexander James open, and I even thought that was disgusting. And I saw his match earlier last year with Jun Kasai, and that was bloody. So, that had gossip plates and fucking window panes, so.
See, that's another thing. Like, glass, I got no issue with. I think one of the things I got more issue with is light tubes.
Which I can understand, because that can actually kill you.
Yeah. And,
the weed whacker.
With the weed whacker, I mean, you're never going to see it anymore.
It's not. I think they stopped, even at Tournament of Death, I think they stopped doing it, because it's just.
I think when you're doing matches to the point where you have, like, the 10,000 light tube match, and like when the entire base of the floor is considered as all glass, and every bump you take is a fucking cut to your back, I think that's a little much.
I mean, it depends on where it is. If it's outside and the stuff's there's no like white on the floor and it's just like the hard ground, like they did at Tournament of Death between Danny Havoc and Scotty Vortex, that was okay. But I think if you're gonna do it inside, that's putting a risk to everyone else.
New Jack versus Necro. You weren't there.
I wasn't. But again, it's because those light tubes have the stuff in them, so it can be risky.
That being said, you want to run down the WrestleCon card?
Let's run it down for what's there right now.
You have a 6-man tag: Luke Hawx, Shane Helms, and Cassidy Riley versus Steve Corino, Matt Striker, and Adam Pearce.
I kind of wish I was going just to see Steve Corino. But that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit who wins.
No, that's a really good match.
Yeah. Okay. Doug Gilbert versus Sid fucking Vicious. I hope his knee gives out again. I know that's dark, but I hope his knee buckles like in WCW Sin, where his knee completely blows out. That's disgusting. It was so bad. Doug Gilbert. I'm calling it Gilbert wins.
You want Gilbert to win?
I don't care.
I don't care.
Kevin Steen versus Masa Tanaka, though.
Steen, I hope. Because that's just going to be a great match.
But ECW legend, Masato Tanaka. Masato.
That's gonna be
I don't know how this match is going to work. Next on the card, Jeff Jarrett versus Colt Cabana.
That's just going to be funny.
I hope Jeff Jarrett brings out the roadie and sings Bring My Baby Tonight.
I hope they both sing it in the middle of the match. Because that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's...
Cue the music. Working. I don't even know the lyrics, so I'm not even gonna try.
Well, they're gonna sing it.
Probably. An Ultraviolet Rules match, hardcore match, whatever.
Probably gonna be
DJ versus Masada.
Black Jesus is supposed to be down there, so I don't see him interfering in that match. Supposedly.
Don't get me started on Black Jesus.
Well, let's not talk about that right now. But
we'll talk about that later on after we.
He stated on his Facebook that he's not booked to be down there, so I think Masada's gonna win.
Well, then again, that was in Jersey. He did it last year.
No, I think Masada's gonna win.
He wasn't booked at WrestleCon last year, and he still showed up.
No, they were booked for WrestleCon last year.
Blackout was?
Yeah, they faced the Catalyst for the titles.
Then, sorry, it was the best of the best. They came in. Not best of the best. Sorry, the last one, whatever.
One of the shows where they stole the tag belts, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, right now, if he somehow doesn't make a surprise, I see Masada winning.
Yeah. Mixed next tag match from PWG, you got Joey Ryan and Candice LeRae versus Sojo Bolt and Jake Manning.
I think I'm going to go with Ryan and LeRae. Go over.
Yeah.
I like Jake Manning, too. That's the thing.
Okay. Now, that's it for the matches, but the other thing I want to talk about is they say on here that Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian are scheduled to be in attendance.
And
Now, the last time I checked, CZW does iPay-per-views.
And as I told you, as maybe some fans do or don't know, Kaz and Daniels' contract is up in April. Daniels is is up sooner than Kaz's.
And this leads me to my next point.
And by the way, just before you start, they aren't booked for this weekend's TV tapings of Impact.
Yeah.
So let that sit what it is.
But then this gets on my point. This gets me furious with TNA. TNA is a really good wrestling show.
It's a horrible story show.
It's good wrestling. It's never really been good with stories.
It's pretty good wrestling.
I mean, there's funny moments like the Team 3D funeral episode, and if you can find that, go watch it because James Storm pissing in a coffin's kind of funny.
And Samoa Joe ragging on
No,
Kurt Angle.
the wrong one.
Well, later.
The second one.
The death of Aces and Eights.
Eights.
Samoa Joe ragging on Kurt Angle for his
Anytime
DUI.
they're in the funeral home, it's a gem. It's apparently a gem in the funeral home. But you got Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and AJ Styles. Three of pretty much the original guys.
The guys that helped build the house.
And you're letting them walk?
Well, AJ, they couldn't come to a deal. I don't know why
they wanted to give AJ half.
I don't know why they're going to let Daniels and Kaz walk. I mean, honestly, hey, bring them to the Indies.
Yeah, I know.
Bring them
right?
to PWG. Bring them to CZW. You know, let them walk, please. Let them walk. Let them come to us.
And there's one other match they made for Rhode Island. But Rhode Island, they made the grudge match versus Danny Havoc and Matt Tremont.
Well, I mean, happy guys that are going to be at Feet Music.
But then, okay, who the fuck is Dysfunction?
Old deathmatch guy.
Okay, because he's going to be in CZW in May.
In Proving Grounds?
Proving Grounds against Danny Havoc. I believe it's his final match, because it's saying the final chair shot.
He's a deathmatch guy that I used to do a lot of the older CZWs, I believe. I know his name.
Okay.
So I think I've seen him in a couple matches too. So, one of those deathmatch legends.
Another one, if April 12th is Best of the Best, I recommend you guys going out to see CZW.
At Best of the Best.
Their best wrestling in Voorhees, New Jersey.
That is their best straight wrestling.
Yeah.
You want to run down the participants?
Yeah, Timothy Thatcher.
Over the pond.
Yes. Lux
Belmar, I think is his name. He's
from
Beyond.
He's from
Beyond, yeah.
Caleb Conley, good wrestler. Really like him. Chucky T. Lucky 13. Andrew Everett, a.k.a. It's been a year already gone. Formerly Chiba Kid.
Gone out the door.
It's been a year already.
I don't even think he carries that mask to the ring
No,
anymore.
he doesn't. Speedball Mike Bailey. The guy I'm actually excited to see, Greek God Papadon.
Papadon, yeah. I haven't seen him yet, so I'm pretty interested to see what he can do.
The good guy Azrael, which is a bunch of bullshit.
I love that he's got the tag.
The good guy, really, Azrael?
Well, he's technically on the baby face team.
I don't get that. He looks like Juventud, but he's worse.
Yeah, he's better than Hoovy.
No.
In the ring? You don't think so?
No.
Maybe.
Hoovy had better opponents, though, then again.
Yeah.
Juventud had Rey Mysterio, but then again, we don't have to remember the racism that went on with. You weren't wrestling.
No, I wasn't around then. But
okay, WWE decided to make the Mexicals, which was Juventud, Psychosis, and Super Crazy. Okay, 3 Mexican wrestlers. How can you make that racist? Oh, we'll have them come out on SmackDown in lawnmowers.
Really?
Yes, and I will put a link in description below showing the entrance.
Well, that's something I never thought I'd hear.
Yeah, they used to come out in a lawnmower.
I mean, Devin Moore comes out in that.
Yeah, but you know what though? But you know what though? At least it's
That's
like
funny.
it's funny.
Well,
This is racist.
Because Maven and frickin' Brett Lauderdale have to push it because he can't drive because he's drunk.
That's racist. Oh, and then we got the front. Biff Busick.
Biff.
Who I'm hoping does a good.
Who's gonna have a great.
Who at least gets past the first round.
Yeah, he's gonna have a great 2014.
Air Fox is next.
And
his final CZW appearance, like we were talking about, Drake, the Golden Boy, younger.
My boy.
But then also that being said,
and Alex Colon, I believe, was in there too.
No,
he's not.
No,
I'm pretty sure he was in the lineup.
2, 4, 6, 13.
Alex Colon would have rounded out the 14 if there's only 13 people. Because I remember seeing his name.
Cologne's not there. Yeah, Cologne's not there.
Maybe it was someone else that reported it wrong.
Well, they might have taken him out. They might have.
Maybe. Well, who was your pick to win then?
Hold on, that makes no sense. Isn't best of the best 12 people?
It starts off. What is it?
12. 3 on 3.
How many? What was last year? 3 on 3.
Was it 4 triple threat matches?
Yeah, and then it narrows it down to 2 each, and then the final.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there would need to be 3, 6, 9, 12. There would be 12 people. How many people are there right now?
13.
Well, maybe they're just saying Drake's going to be there because he's not. I don't think he's in the tournament. I think he's supposed to be facing Danny Havoc. Last I remember hearing, it was Danny Havoc stated at the last show it was going to be him and Drake and
maybe.
appearance.
But with that being said,
who's your pick to win? Who? All right, give me 3 picks.
All right, let me narrow it down. If they put it the way, they haven't done anything yet with it.
So you want to wait till the brackets, or are you gonna?
Not even the brackets. I'll give you 4 because I'll put it. I'll say who's gonna come out of what, who will be the finals.
So you're gonna list the semifinals.
Pretty much, and then I'll give you. If now the reason we're doing this, I want this to be on record. If I'm right about this, this is pretty fucking good. Because they did this last year with AR Fox. They put Uha Nation and Rich Swann. Oh no.
It was AR Fox, Uha,
and Strickland. No, not Strickland.
No, I don't remember.
It was somebody big. It was a huge freaking.
Anyway, well, I don't remember the guy, honestly.
Might
have been someone we know, but I just don't remember because it's AR Fox and Uha Nation.
Yeah. Was it Rich? It might have been Rich. It was Swan.
Maybe. Yeah.
It was Swan because that was like the one we were like saying we want to see Swan like towards the finals, but the first round he's fucking out. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, that was right. Yeah. Because AR Fox won the first round.
I want to see Biff get out of the first round.
Yeah.
I want to see Fox. Sadly, I see Ezreal.
Yeah.
And Lucky.
The guy.
As much as, like, Timothy Thatcher, I don't know. Bomer, I don't know him. Conley, he was in last year. He had a good showing, but he got eliminated first.
Yeah.
But then again, though, that was Shane Strickland and Tommy N.
Yeah.
Who, holy shit, if you want to go see a match, go watch that match. By the way, why isn't Tommy N back?
That's what I was curious about.
Oh, by the way, also, why the fuck ain't Bandito in this?
Well, we know, but fans don't.
Well, that's why I'm making this discussion. Why the fuck ain't Bandito in CZW right now? DJ, answer me that. Stop dealing with, deal with Black fucking G's because he's a scumbag.
No, I'm not going to touch on that. But I'll give mine. I don't know if I think Timothy Thatcher won, or Tim Thatcher, however you want to say his name, whatever his name is. I see him coming out of the first round. I see Biff hopefully coming out of the first round. Azrael definitely, and either AR Fox or Chuck Taylor. One of those two I'm hoping come out of the first round. I'd actually like to see Chuck Taylor versus Biff Busick. Just saying. And no offense to Biff, I kind of want to see him eat an awful waffle.
No, you know what I want to see? You know what I can't wait to, and I hope they do this? I hope they do Biff versus Patapon.
Patapon? Oh my god.
Because that's like Uha. in them.
You know what?
Alright, you know what? I wonder one thing. Where's Dickerson? Why isn't Dickerson in this?
Dickerson's probably got a match.
But you know still, though, what did you want to do?
You know, he might cost Biff. If you think about it, he might cost Biff the first round. But I think I just set up the first round. Thatcher versus Patapon versus Busick. Right there could be one of your first rounds.
Could be.
I just have a feeling that's going to be like one of the first round matches. Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's how I would book like 3 strong kind of guys right there in the first round.
And then also, my winner, I don't know.
What's your final guy? Who's your final winner?
If I'm thinking logically,
It's either going to be Azrael or Biff.
I think that might be your finals.
Think those two?
Yeah.
And I see a lot of interference. I see front interference.
Or I see a reshot and it's Fox and Azrael.
And somehow Cologne costs Azrael the trophy.
Yeah.
This time
and
around.
Fox comes around and wins after last year, the heavy.
After Cologne won it last year?
Yeah.
I think... I know he did pretty well he won his first match at CZW. I think Tim Thatcher might make it to the final rounds, but if not, I definitely see either Biff or Azrael and Fox, and I see if either of those cases with Azrael, if Azrael ends up in either of those final matches, I see somehow Cologne costing him the trophy.
Yeah.
Cologne may be fucking with Chrissy Rivera somehow at ringside, and that causes Azrael to go look around and get distracted, or the ref's down and he gets hit in the face with something, or gets hit with the Cologne driver.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that. But then also you got the
or whatever
wire.
he calls his finisher.
That's it.
And then we got the wired title ladder match, Shane Strickland versus Devin Moore. I don't see Devin Moore gaining it back. Sorry, Devin. Love everybody, but, I probably see Matt Tremont costing Devin Moore. Only because he's in a feud with the Nation. And I definitely see Matt Tremont probably costing Lucky. That's the only reason I don't have him in my finals. Matt Tremont's... whatever's going through his mind, he obviously wants the Nation. And so I think he's going to cost Devin and Lucky their matches. At least Devin. Because he's in a title match, so...
Yeah.
Definitely maybe some interference in the whole thing, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean...
Right now, I'm waiting to see the brackets, and I could tell you
Yeah.
what I think.
I mean, we're just shooting it right now, but again, CCW, Best of the Best, April 12th. Go check those out. We'll be there.
We'll be there.
We're definitely going to be there. If you guys listen to it, come say hi, whatever. But the other thing I was just going to run down is I was watching Countdown on the WWE Network.
Yep.
One of the shows I was watching was the greatest finisher of all time.
Mm-hmm.
The spear came on there. It was number 3.
Yep.
So my question is, and I'll ask this and I'll put this in the as a bracket, who has the best spear?
In your opinion?
My opinion, Goldberg. Point blank, Goldberg has the best spear. It is it's just a straight football tackle. And it is one of the most devastating spears in wrestling.
Well, I think
because it's a double leg takedown with him driving his shoulder straight into your chest.
I think either Roman Reigns or Rhino. Or as a third, Johnny Gargano's second rope spear. Because he goes through the fucking second rope from the ground to spear you.
Weakest Christian.
Sadly, I love Christian, but I gotta agree.
Christian has the weakest spear because he looks like a... First off...
He's tiny. He's tiny.
Also, he's got a sunken chest.
He's tiny.
He looks anorexic. He looks almost as bad. He looks as bad as Angelina Love.
Wouldn't go that far.
I would.
You would.
Because you know what? According to Ken, you know what a pirate's favorite thing is? Sunken chest.
Oy vey.
I really wish I
believe you on that one.
Oh shit. No, I think top 3. Goldberg 1, Rhino 2, Edge 3.
Mine would probably be Rhino, maybe Rhino number 1, Reigns at 2, Gargano at 3 only because he does it through the second rope. If he didn't, and he didn't do it at all, I would have said Edge.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Gargano he doesn't do it straight like a lot of people do. He does it through. He jumps through from the floor to the second rope. And I've seen it get countered into a DDT by Kyle O'Reilly. So it's fun to watch that second rope spear.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of WWE,
Are we talking about Occupy Raw?
We're segueing really quick, aren't we? Because we're moving pretty quick through a lot of these.
What are we talking about now?
Yeah, Occupy Raw.
Occupy Raw. Well, what did you think?
Hey, the fans were able to listen. They finally listened. I think they had this planned all along, and I think it's about time they pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
But, again,
I think
it's Triple H. He's very well known for taking a shovel out and burying people.
I don't see that happening.
No,
I just can't. This time I can't.
It's
going to be a great match.
Does he beat Triple H? Yes.
Yes.
Does he walk out with the WWE title?
Should. He should.
Yeah.
He should.
Orton ain't winning.
I don't think Batista's winning.
Well, I'm saying no. I see it's Batista or Daniel Bryan. And it's either going to be Daniel Bryan wins at Mania or Daniel Bryan wins in Jersey.
I think it's going to be at Mania. Because you want those fans.
Oh, yeah, no, you want those fans. But again, no. Him in Jersey?
Yeah, Jersey's a pretty rowdy place, but I think it'd be better in an atmosphere for him to have his Mania moment and win the championship at Mania.
And I'm also pissed off at WrestleMania 30, the fact that it's in New Orleans.
I'm not. I mean, I'm pissed off because I can't get there, but...
Well, just the fact that WWE is going away from the whole tradition
of having it.
Having the 10s and even just in New York. And you can't put the pay-per-view in, like, I know they didn't want to compete with the Super Bowl. That's why they didn't put it in Garden or MetLife Stadium for 30 here. But there's only one stadium that I will allow that I would have been okay with to go in 30 besides it being in New York. That's Dallas. Just because it's fucking Dallas.
Oh,
it's
cool.
The AT&T Stadium, holy shit, can fit over 100,000 people in it.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they work the Superdome. I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah, the
Mercedes-Benz
Superdome.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I'm pissed I can't get down there because there's a lot going on that weekend, but...
There's a lot going up here, though, that weekend.
There'll be a decent amount. So...
Yeah, no,
Mania,
though, what do you think how do you think Mania is shaping up right now?
Shaping up to be starting to look pretty good.
I think it's gotten a lot more people invested in it
now
that Daniel Bryan has a chance of being in that main event. I think if Daniel Bryan wasn't going to be in that main event, you would have seen a lot of people shitting on that.
A lot of people probably would have walked out.
But now that Bryan has a chance of being in that match,
I think a lot of people are going to be sitting on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, I think that's going to start off that's going to open up WrestleMania though.
What, Daniel Bryan versus Triple H?
Yeah, just because then
unless they were going to open up with the Battle Royal.
No, because I think they're going to open up with that. So if they're going to have Daniel Bryan go over.
Win early in the night.
Exactly, and have him rest for 3.5 hours so he can get ready to go into, or have him win after that would be the second main event for the night, and then you would have that be the.
I think you're right. It's probably it's either he's gonna be in one of the first two matches. Either he's gonna be in the first match,
yeah,
or it's gonna go Battle Royal and then and then the second match is gonna be him and Triple H.
Does Punk come back?
Do we really? No offense to Punk, do we really care?
I
hope. Hey, I like Punk. I hope, but I personally don't care.
Do we see
the streak ending? No.
No. Brock Lesnar ain't.
No, not yet.
I think if anything, that's when Punk comes back though. Maybe. He fucks over Lesnar and gets back at Paul Lee.
Maybe.
That's the logic thing to see.
We'll see.
Do we see Cesaro versus
Swagger finally?
Swagger at Mania? I think you got to.
Cesaro swing. You're going to have the crowd going nuts for it because he's going to look.
I think you have to. You have to have that match at Mania.
And the thing is, you're going to have maybe not Cesaro go over. Would like to, but you definitely have to have Swagger get the Cesaro swing.
Or you have. Hopefully they can both. What I want to see is they're thinking about unifying these titles. I have a feeling, the Intercontinental and the U.S. title, to make one belt, the Intercontinental belt again. Okay, you have a chance on a great feud of two mid-card guys that have a chance to confuse these belts, and there's already a storyline behind it. Why don't you give them both the belts?
Well, I mean, actually, it seems like the Shield and Big E are just in separate stories.
It doesn't even matter, though. You have Swagger beat Big E, get the IC title, say, see, I beat him, yada, 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 you couldn't do it.
Have Cesaro win the title.
Have Cesaro, you win the U.S. title, and then he's like, see, you couldn't beat him, so I did it too. Have then at Mania, belts are together, and bada bing, bada boom. You have a feud that's been building up, and you have a payoff.
I guess. I just don't see it happening.
No, I see the match happening. I don't see the titles.
I don't see the titles happening.
No, that's fantasy booking.
I see a triple threat match between the Shield, maybe.
Yeah.
If they start to tease tension again. Because right now it looks like they're all happy and sunshine and flowers.
Oh no, after last Monday, no they are not. After Zeb going off on them, Zeb went off on them.
No, I mean the Shield.
Oh, the Shield? Yeah.
That's why I don't see that triple threat match happening anymore.
Cena
has to put over Bray Wyatt.
Does he even go against Wyatt? That's the question.
Maybe, but that match, if they do, that match has to either Bray has to go over Cena, or that match has to be really fucking good. That match has to steal the show. Literally, has to steal the show. If Bray were to lose and that was a show-stealing match, no problems.
AJ versus Tamina, you think is going to happen?
Did Tamina turn on AJ yet?
Not yet.
I think it's going to be AJ in a match for the title.
Okay. That Cena Bray Wyatt match already was confirmed.
Yeah, no, they confirmed it on Raw.
They've already confirmed 3 participants for the over-the-top battle royal.
Yeah, it's
Curtis Axel, Ryback, and Big E Langston.
I think Dolph Ziggler threw his hat in there at some point.
They didn't show it.
Maybe it's tonight he throws his hat in there. Why don't we talk about who do you think's gonna come out the winner?
For the title? For this?
Yeah. What does it have any like payoff, or is it just like a nice trophy?
Just a nice trophy.
To pay respect to Andre the Giant?
Yeah. So
I feel there should be some.
Anyone that's a fan of wrestling from Japan is like creaming themselves right now.
I just feel there should be some kind of payoff in the end. I don't know. Well, who's your pick? Because I mean, right now you only got 3 guys, but I mean you have an entire roster to pick from.
Cesaro.
If they don't have that match.
If they don't have that match, he's going in. He's gonna win.
Comes back.
I don't know. I mean, my pick is Ziggler. He needs to start building up again. Because I just don't see them having Curtis Axel win, as cool as that might be.
No,
it's just not.
They've already destroyed Curtis Axel.
It's unfortunate because he's not a terrible wrestler. He just doesn't have the charisma his dad did.
Okay, and also, what is up with people saying, "Oh, they have to be a world champion"?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like,
they have to be a world champion to be successful?
Yeah.
No, wasn't Roddy Piper never a world champion?
Neither was Kurt Hennig.
And they were both like they're Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And they were both massively over, if I remember correctly. Especially Roddy Piper. He fucking cracked a coconut over Snuka's head.
He also painted himself in blackface.
And he also he chased after Goldust in a car lot. You know?
Okay, that was a replay of the O.J. Simpson trial.
I mean,
we all know that if
you don't need to be a world champion to be over. Yes, it's a nice thing to have, but you just have to have a successful career and have a shitload of good matches. Look at Sami Zayn. He has yet to win the NXT title, but he's over as fuck.
He's only won one match.
And the fans still love him.
Well, that's because we know he's El Generico.
Well, I think a lot of the Full Sail fans know that, but I think a lot of the casual Full Sail fans that don't like him too.
Yeah.
And look at Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. They're over too, and they haven't won anything yet.
Yeah.
And they've only won like a handful of matches. So no, you really don't need to be a world champion to be liked or to be in the Hall of Fame. You just have to have a lot of good matches, really.
Yeah. But besides that,
and a good title reign. Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. Wow.
Mister, I haven't had a defense.
I haven't defended that title,
and that's really not his fault. as Michael Cole said, legitimately, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's going to be one of the worst reigns ever. Sadly.
That being said, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we're going to take a break.
We'll come back.
And
talk about video games.
Video games, yeah. All right. Until then, I guess we'll be back in whenever.
Yeah.
All right. And we're back with part 2 of Blindside, the gaming portion of our segment. If you guys don't remember, I am Ronnie and
I'm Sean.
And we got nothing really in news. We just wanted to talk about some stuff and rant about some shit. So, whatever.
Well, starts off.
Little game called Titanfall came out.
Yeah, it did.
I didn't buy it.
I did.
Go ahead. Go ahead and talk.
Well, I already told you.
Yeah, well, tell the people out there about Titanfall.
Titanfall is a first-person shooter. It's kind of obvious if you've seen the footage.
It's a COD clone.
It's a superior COD clone.
Still a COD clone.
It does it better. It literally is a COD clone, but it does it better than COD.
A mouse in a brown paper bag is better than Call of Duty.
That's because these are the guys that originally did COD 4.
Yes.
And that's why it's better. That's why.
And it's made by EA, not Activision.
Nope. And yup, it is made by EA and not Activision. Thank the lords. It's a space kind of first-person shooter, so much in the vein of Halo, except no aliens. It's human on humans, and it's a group called the IMC versus who I guess really they kind of interject who could be the good guys and the bad guys, but the IMC are like the military. I don't know what it stands for. I don't know if they ever said it because their story's kind of shit. They're gonna start right there and say the story's crap, and then there's the militia. Who are rather? I mean, you can really intertwine the two to be the good or the bad guys. Really, the two, they're both good, they're both bad. It's just how you want to view it. But I'll talk about the campaign first. The campaign, honestly, is terrible.
But yeah, you have to play it though, apparently, to unlock.
To unlock the Strider and the Ogre Titanfall, the Titan chassis, which I'll get to. You have to play to unlock Strider. You have to beat one of the two campaigns. To unlock Ogre, you have to beat them both. And the campaign, the cool thing the campaign does, its story isn't that great. But the cool thing that it does is it's multiplayer matches. And the only two modes that are really in there are Attrition, which is your standard team deathmatch, and Hardpoint Domination, which, for those familiar with Domination or whatever that one mode from Halo was, You'll know what it is. It's literally capturing 3 points. Whoever gets to the set score is the winner. The cool thing is, you've got a team. I think about a 6-on-6 team, but you also have computer-generated teammates like Spectres, who are little robots, and either militia or IMC grunts, who are kind of just.
Which I've kind of heard that's just like. Easy points.
It is easy points. It's easy points, but they only award you like 1 point towards your goal. But I mean, you could still get experience.
Yeah, but that's easy. But apparently, that's easy to just grind out to get your Titan.
It is, but at the same time, they don't. The Spectres are worth more, I think, but they don't show up that often. And at the beginning of the game, you're going to get a lot of the grunts, and a lot of people grind their way to the Titans early on. I've seen that, but at the same time. Yeah, you could grind and try to kill all the grunts you see, but you're going to want to try to kill the opposing player more because you get more points for that. You get about 1 point for grunts and about 4 points for a player. Or an opposing pilot. That's what you're called.
Yeah.
You don't really have perks like in the vein of COD. You have your
like your Titan. Your Titan's your perk.
Your Titan is your main it's like your main kill streak.
Yeah.
And
you can equip your.
You can deck out your Titan. You've got 3 different chassis. You've got I forget what the first one's called. But you've got the main one, which is kind of like your standard. It's balanced. You've got Ogre, which is huge and beast, but it's slow. And then you've got the Strider, which is fast, but it's weak.
Which is great. Apparently, you capture the flag if you put the boost,
the
infinite dash on it.
It's got a 3. It's got the regular Titan. Your main, like the first Titan, the one I said is balanced, has you have a boost bar, and for that it's 2. So you get 2 boosts in a row. For the Ogre, it's 1 giant boost. For the Strider, it's 3. So literally, you could just speed your way to certain hard points in domination, and kind of just sit there as a Titan and destroy everyone while you capture the point. But then you can customize your Titan with weapons, abilities. You can make it nuclear explode if you die. You can have it auto eject you once you're down, because if you sit in your Titan and let yourself explode, pretty sure you're not stupid and you're gonna put 2 and 2 together, you fucking die. You're fucking dead.
You gonna die.
You gonna die. And then you can customize your Titan with weapons, like I said, perk abilities, and you can customize your pilot with. There's only a few weapons, and you unlock them. It's not like COD where you get weapons almost every level. You start off with an assault rifle, machine gun, and a pistol. I believe are the 3 starting ones. I know it's the pistol and the assault rifle.
The smart pistol.
The smart pistol. I forget what the main assault rifle is, but it's pretty good. And the starting submachine gun. Those are what you start off with. And you slowly unlock other guns, but you only have like a handful. Literally, I can count the amount of guns on both my hands, and that's it. It's not like COD where there's like 50 different guns, total, and there's like 5 for each class, or each class of gun. There are only a handful of abilities you can give your pilot. You only get 4 types of explosives. You can choose between male and female. So I mean, according to Angry Joe, the female has a smaller hitbox. I don't know how true that is, but I mean, it doesn't. Neither gender really is superior to the other. They kind of stay the same because you had the same abilities. Neither is faster than the other.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, I haven't really kind of paid attention to look. But I mean, there's other modes beside the kit. There's the classic, which is your multiplayer, and they'll run you through training, which is cool because you can you get a double jump in a first-person shooter. What? You get a jetpack.
You get parkour.
Yeah, and you can literally there is a perk to allow you to parkour longer because you can literally matrix along the walls. And there's other game modes in the classic mode. There's like attrition, which I already talked about. Domination, which I already talked about. There's a mode where everyone starts in a Titan.
Yeah, the Titan-only mode.
You have to duel it out, and I think it's the last Titan standing.
That's what it's called. It's called last Titan standing.
I think there's some other modes that I haven't really looked at yet. But as a whole, the game, there's not a whole lot of campers. You get some people that, do it at the end of the night. You get some people that are better than you. You get some dickheads that are campers. It's your typical shooter, but it almost seems just fair. Yeah, I mean, you've got the fact that you get points off the grunts and the specters, but it still feels fair. Unlike COD, which feels broken at this point.
Yeah.
By this iteration, COD's multiplayer just feels broken. And unfortunately, it's not on Treyarch or whoever's making it now. It's really on Activision and the people that feel the need to camp and whatnot.
Well, with that being said, I mean...
Well, that's pretty much it about Titanfall. I'd say it's definitely... A lot of people are saying it's worse than COD. I say it's better than COD. Play it. Form your own opinion. That's what I did, and I'm pretty much enjoying it. I give it like an 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
No 10 out of 10?
Nah, it's great. Ain't perfect.
Yeah. But with that being said, though, a game like that, what's it rated?
M, I think maybe. I think it might be T.
Okay.
I can't remember. It's M or T.
But,
it's one of the two.
So that's a first-person shooter that's rated possibly T for teen?
Yes.
No, I'll check that out.
Yeah, go ahead. I can't remember offhand, but it's definitely... I've actually heard a few little kids on it so far, which... I mean, that's going to happen. It's bound to happen. Some parents just don't give a shit. Some parents just want their kid to shut up, so they'll buy the game for them.
Now, with that being said...
What is it?
I'll see right now. It's M.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I couldn't remember. Yeah. I mean, there's some swearing. Some of the deaths are pretty brutal because as a Titan you can punch people and they literally explode. Like, you can actually see blood. I mean, it doesn't stay, but they do explode. And there's some swearing within the campaign, I believe.
Okay, but with that being said, though, I mean, you're expecting it from the guys from Call of Duty, fine. But with all that being said, with the ESRB, with kids nowadays playing games like Call of Duty, kids that are under the age of 12.
Under the age, literally under.
Under the age of 18, yes, but let's face it, we were playing M-rated games when we were 14, 15.
Yeah, but back then it didn't really matter.
No, but I was playing M-rated games when I was 8.
Yeah, again.
Actually, I was playing games when they were not even rated because I started gaming when there was no ESRB.
I remember when there was games that actually had the adult-only rating.
When it was allowed to be sold in stores.
Yeah.
But with that being said, does the ESRB rating need to get changed?
It just doesn't feel like it means anything anymore.
But I'm saying is, though, do we need
I think so.
a 16 plus?
Well, that's what teen is. Teen's supposed to be rated 17 and up. We need one that's rated.
But here's the thing.
We need one that's rated 13 and up.
Well, you remember you had the E10.
Yeah.
You had E10, but they took the E10 away.
No, I think they still have the E10 plus, unless they did take it away and I'm not aware of it. But
because what I mean, like the whole thing with that is you need.
The problem is the rating's not going to matter.
A game like Halo.
Yeah.
It's a shooter. But yet you can let a kid play it because it's not that bad.
No, Halo's not that bad.
But yet it's an M-rated game. But then you have something like Call of Duty, Grand Theft, and Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto in particular.
In particular.
And little kids are playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, which...
Really, that then falls on the fault of the parents.
Yes, but at the same time, do we want to... does it need to change?
I think games like Grand Theft Auto that are slightly more risque.
Do we need to bump it up to 19 or 20?
We need one where what they need to do is they need to list what happens in the game to the parent.
Well, they do.
Really? But the parents
don't read it. The parents
parent,
don't read it.
They have to. They have to make it so the parents have to look and say, like here, Grand Theft Auto, there's drug use, there's sexual themes, there's drinking, there's yada, there's this. The parents have to sit and listen. They've got to find a way to pretty much, say this is what goes on in the game instead of just rating. This is rate, because I've seen some people say this is just rated M, just so you know. And it's like, okay, yes, rated M.
They just don't.
Whatever. No, my parents stopped fighting that battle. They just didn't care. And they knew I was going to be good about it. But
at the same time, though...
Today's kids are different than when we were kids.
Exactly. When I was playing games like Mortal Kombat...
We knew nothing was real.
Well, you can't punch somebody's heart out of their chest.
Not really.
No. So...
Not within the realm of reality.
And you can't literally reach into someone's mouth and pull out their entire skeleton system.
No, that is physically impossible.
Yeah, or you can't suck somebody up in your mouth.
You can't take someone's skull out and beat them with it, like Red vs. Blue.
Or you can't stretch somebody's neck out to the point of it looks like a giraffe.
Yeah, it's just. But today's kids are impressionable, and
they're idiots. Let's not sugarcoat it. Most kids nowadays are idiots.
And the problem is, it's because they're being raised like idiots.
Yeah. Common sense. Grand Theft Auto, I can understand. Parents not wanting their kids to play, I can fully understand that because that is kind of realistic in the point where it's not that. But games like not realistic. You get what I mean.
I mean, it mimics.
Bang a hooker, kill her, get your money back.
Really, you could do that in mixed real life, but
you're ending up in jail.
Yeah, you're ending up in jail. If you did that in real life, you'd be fucked.
Yeah.
But a game like Mortal Kombat, it's like, come on, you don't need to see your kid at like 12. Nowadays, it's different because back then we weren't stupid. We knew it was fantasy.
Well,
now we really don't.
Also, too, you didn't. I mean, with the graphics nowadays,
it
looks real. Like it really
does.
Like,
Mommy, I want to rip someone's skeleton out. You can't.
I mean, some of the shit that I see though, I laugh. Like the tug of war guy getting
his arms ripped off.
His arms ripped off, and then his entire body in half getting ripped off.
I mean, it's like, you know.
That's not. Yeah, you know what? Try doing a split. That's not possible.
It's just. It's unfortunate that kids today just don't understand that there's reality and fantasy. The lines are now together, unfortunately, for them. Back in the day where they were very clearly apart.
Yeah.
So I definitely think the ESRB needs to change in some way. It definitely needs to change. What way? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but it definitely needs something.
But like a game like Halo should be rated teen.
Yeah, Halo really... Realistically, Halo's not... The only reason it's probably rated M is because there's going to be swearing online.
Yeah,
and that's because people just don't.
But here's the thing, though: online's considered NA.
Yeah,
online's
completely separate.
It's not rated.
Yeah, it's
not rated.
So it doesn't even matter. Realistically, I don't even think they swore in Halo, as far as I could tell.
Maybe.
Like not even. I've never heard "fuck" out of Halo.
No.
So it's like they could probably rate that a teen and get away with it.
Yeah. But then I mean, like games like Laser Suit Larry.
Nah. Well, yeah, like games like Grand Theft Auto, those definitely need to stay kind of where they are.
Also, with that being said, with the ESRBs, with just games in general, fighting games now, with Evo.
Yeah, we'll move on to Evo. You said Melee got back in, right?
Only big news is that Nintendo of America, that I read this on IGN, and also heard it on Polaris, that Nintendo of America is allowing Melee
back into Brawl.
Back into Evo. After what happened I think last year or 2 years ago, where they cut out the live stream on Twitch because they didn't want their games to be streamed.
So is it back in? It's back, be streamed?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think it was 2 years ago this happened. Because last year I don't think they had it.
Yeah, they didn't have it last year, as far as I remember. I don't know, man. Nintendo, the fuck. I don't really follow Evo. I get it's a big deal. It's kind of cool that people like are competing over, beating the shit out of each other in video game reality. But what the fuck, Nintendo? Like, what harm is it gonna do to stream your game in a fighting tournament?
Great example too is a game like, okay, I did a small playthrough of Pikmin 3. Mm-hmm. Nintendo wanted monetizing off of my
yeah, they wanted to make money.
Well, here's the one problem. I only get minimum of 50 people watching my shit. So what's the point of you taking creative claim on my gameplay? Because I used your music. Not even the fact that I used your game. Because right now I'm also doing a playthrough of Punch-Out. Not using their music. Nothing.
I don't know, man.
Love you, Nintendo, but stop. We're giving you free advertisement for your games.
I don't know. It's just really weird.
And especially when we do our live stream channel. When we do the Drink Joke and Let's Play channels. When we start ours. If we play a Nintendo game, then we're not going to put any sound. Because because Nintendo's being those kind of people. And it's not fair to people like
weird, which is weird because there's Twitch plays Pokemon.
Yeah, I know, right?
And they stayed through the entire game and beat it. So it's like, really? Not one instance of Nintendo shutting it down? And weren't they going for 24 hours a day?
Yeah.
Really, Nintendo? Not one instance? Even though that's your game? Yeah, it might be old, but that's still your game, still your IP. Really? But you're gonna do it to other people? The fuck, man? Or woman? Or person?
No,
I fucking know. What the fuck?
It's a man. Because it's I believe it's Iwata. That runs Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, well, whoever. If it's Iwata or if it's someone from Nintendo of America. Or, Nintendo of who the fuck.
My body is Reggie.
Or if it's Reggie. Reggie don't give a fuck. No. But I mean,
I'm sorry, but Reggie better be in Super Smash Brothers. He better be a trophy. He better be a trophy in Super Smash Brothers.
He's up for the idea of being put in there. But still, what the fuck, Nintendo? It's not like we're making money off of this.
No. We're doing
They're going to make money off of the fact that they have running gags and jokes, i.e. Game Grumps and the Completionist, etc.
Memes.
Yep,
Internet
exactly.
memes.
They're not going to make money off your game. They're making money off the fact that they have a playthrough of it, and the fact that they have merchandise, not because of the playthrough of the game, but because of the jokes made within the playthrough and or review, etc., etc., etc.
But that being said, let's wrap this up.
Any final thoughts?
Not really. I mean, I wanted to talk about online gaming, but we kind of wrapped that up with the ESRB.
Yeah, we already talked about it, really. We kind of breezed over it, but, online gaming really, not rated under the ESRB, so it doesn't really
I think kids have to stop getting, I think parents have to parent and stop.
There's got to be an age restriction. And it's got to either be parent approved. It's got to be parent approved.
Yeah. But it's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
But, that being said, like I was saying before, go check out the places like the Co-optional Podcast on Polaris. Go check out the Shining Wizards Network, the Midnight Jury, 2.5 Wrestlers, the Shining Wizards.
Which we already said.
Well, no, that's their network. I'm saying the actual Shining Wizards podcast. These guys actually have some great wrestling stuff. They just did an episode with Davey Richards and Dave Destruction. The Turnbuckle Throwbacks, Phil Rea and Dave Mega Powers. I am not only I don't only talk to these guys. I love their work. Their shows are funny as hell. Midnight Jury, Mike and Adam Henning, or Mike Dorengonger and Adam Henning. Horror movies and wrestling, and old school wrestling. I'm sorry, they can't get any better. Their next episode coming out is on the Leprechaun. And no, not the shitty WWE remake. Not with Hornswoggle being the Leprechaun.
I didn't say.
But we are going to review that. I don't give a shit.
Well, when it comes out.
When it comes out, we're reviewing it. We're doing a vlog of it.
When it comes out, call me and I'm drinking.
Yeah, so am I. Because I'm sorry, Hornswoggle as the Leprechaun. Well, you know one thing that's not true. You know he's not the bull. Again, with that being said, guys, go check all this stuff out.
Well, links in the description below.
Links, yeah, exactly. Description
whatever
below.
You want to say.
Go to PWS. Go support the indie scene of wrestling. Go to CZW. Go to Chikara. That's something we didn't talk about, but we'll talk about that next episode.
Yep, we'll get to it.
When it comes closer to it, Chikara.
Any indies. Check them out.
Yeah. With that being said, though, follow us on Twitter at the Nerd Post on Twitter, or follow me on Twitter.
Nerdport.
P-O-R-T.
You said post.
Post.
Yeah. You've had a few.
Yes, I had a few. Also follow me on. Follow us on Facebook under the same name. If not, follow us on Drink Joke and Let's Play for our Let's Play channels. There's a. I'll leave all the descriptions below. Also follow me on Twitter, on the Twitter machine. At ProHeckler77.
You at that wrestling guy.
At that wrestling guy.
Or wrestle guy. You'll find me.
Also follow us on YouTube. I'm under the Camping Corner ROH, or follow us under the
Nerdport will have everything up.
The Nerdport. We'll have everything linked in the descriptions and stuff like that. With that being said, though, I am Ronnie.
I'm Sean.
And you guys just been blindsided. Have a good night.